Okay, Carl, show me what the money's for. Let's see these facilities then. All right, boss. So we got the aero department here, and yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? Why are they wasting the air? Don't they know that air is expensive? What are they doing? Cut that off. Cut that off to him now. So here's the chassis department. Very important department here. No wonder our chassis isn't great. Look at them, they're just staring at the damn thing. What's that even on the board? Don't know what they're doing. So this is the personnel team. This is where you see the drivers and all that. How is this helping our drivers? Hang on, you mean they actually
Yeah,
people watch this?
of course.
They watch people play games?
Yeah, they do. They do.
It helps with the What the hell? Whatever you say, Carl.
Here's the powertrain team.
See, now this is the department that does things. Look at them. They're looking in that power unit. See, they're trying to find another horsepower. Oh, I think they found it. I said they found another horsepower. That doesn't actually look that durable. Where's the hammer? To test things, test how durable it is. No, they're not doing much, are they? No wonder our stuff always breaks down.
And finally, marketing.
Oh yeah, it's only Sarah in there, isn't there? Yeah, we need to get her intern or something because
Yeah, definitely.
it's not going to be great just looking at social media all the time, isn't it? No, you need to get someone to do that for her so she doesn't get too depressed. So yeah, it's been a bit of a challenge entering this season because we've actually got a reduced calendar compared to previous years. There was that kind of global illness, wasn't there, at the beginning of the year? So a couple of countries decided not to host Grand Prix, like France, Singapore, Abu Dhabi. I'm sure everyone's, really upset at that. But no, this season ends in Brazil, which is really cool. No, and still starts in Australia, as we've already seen. And yeah, we've got new venues like Vietnam, the Netherlands, Zandvoort returning with some alterations. And yeah, and it's like a pretty good calendar, more condensed calendar as well. So, if we're on the back foot, you've got less time to make up, but we do have more time in between races. So, hopefully a bit better for our personnel as well, and for just the health and well-being of everyone. Traveling all over the world, chase these crazy championship points and win the titles, and hopefully we get there towards the end of the season, and it's going to be less stressful for the whole paddock hopefully this season for all the veterans who have done this in previous years when Canada's been rising, and hopefully returning to levels like it was like 20 years ago race wise. It should be better for everyone. All right, Carl, let's get down to team business. So, do you check out that sponsor? That link.
Yeah, I got them. You got them on board. Yeah, they're more than happy. More than happy. Come on board. And I got them a short-term contract, but yeah, it should pay well. Should be good for the old Bants. And
Oh, you did excellent. Great. So we got another name on the card. It's gonna not look less, sparse. At least in it's like we're doing business now off the track. That's good to know. That's good to see. All right. What about developments for the car as well? You may have noticed we're not quite there towards the front. We're not quite, battling for wins yet. So, what about the developments?
yeah, so after last time, we got to give the rear floor under tray a go. Try and get that on the car, and then also looking at the rear wing main plane as well. So try and improve the rear as long as the front. So yeah, good development should push us up the grid.
Right, we had a minor setback, but yeah, good to see that, we're working hard on those as well. Like, it's a good start, but, we need to get forward. We need to score some points, especially for our new sponsors. And finally, what about activity? Have you seen the activity from Honda? Have you?
No, I don't know where my invitation went to. I'm not sure. Must have got lost in the mail, really,
Oh, you didn't get invited. Don't know how that happened, Carl. Never. I did suggest to them that we need the assistant to the assistant team manager. They might have been lost in translation there. They might have forgot one assistant. They might have just seen that and were like, oh, you mean the assistant team manager? So
yeah, maybe. I know they sent them by email, so I don't know how that got lost. To be honest, I checked my spam and everything, so not really sure about that.
I don't know how that happened really, Cole. This is pretty nice. The gaffer's chair. Might get used to this. But yeah, in practice, first practice, dusty track, new venue for us, and led to a couple spins as we really trying to find the balance in the car. And with race practice as well, we're really down the order. Like, we needed to find some pace in free practice one. I'm down in 19th, Nobu down in 18th. Like, we had some work to do in the next couple of free practices. And the car did feel better in the next, practice that night with the cool conditions, with the track rubbered in a bit. The car felt a bit better. Once again, aiming more for race pace, especially as this is what we're going to be, racing in. And, still down in 18th, Nobu down in 20th, even though the car felt better, we still had pace to find. So, yeah, still some work to do in free practice 3, when again it would be a bit hotter, and when we're really trying to iron out the setup by then and set up for qualifying and for the race. And the car did feel a bit better, in final practice, trying to push it a bit more with qualifying practice, led to a spin again, but up there once again in the top 10 in 7th. Always happy with that. So, yeah, a bit better, but Noble only did race practice. Like, he barely did any qualifying practice, but, he's down in 20th. Obviously very happy with his race car, and we'll see what happens in qualifying. Like, I expected to be a bit better than him. Yeah, Bahrain qualifying, just couldn't get the best out of the car. Like, that looks fine, just didn't push it enough. And when I did right at the end, it's a spin when I was going quicker. So, I could have been there as well in Q2, but very happy for the team. That Nobby made history for us. Made it to qualifying too. I know the gaffer was very happy about that. Come on, Nubu. Come on, Nubu. Come on, Nubu. Come on. Yeah! Oh my... Carl, get the champagne. Get the goods, the one that's more than a tenner. Get that. But, I was ahead of the Williams, we're ahead of Grosjean and Raikkonen as well. Like, we were battling with the Haas's and Alfa Romeos, so, these were ahead of, one team totally. We were battling with who we expected as well, so it should lead to a pretty good race.
We're here again then at a circuit famous for its stunning visuals and thrilling battles for glory. Who will take the spotlight in the Bahrain Grand Prix today? Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities. It could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson joins me again for the race today. Let's start by getting your take on Daniel Ricciardo. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Alexander Albon and Sainz, Norris, Perez, Ocon and Sebastian Vettel, Kvyat, Stroll, Pierre Gasly and Giovinazzi, Matsushita, Ricciardo. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Romain Grosjean and Kimi Raikkonen, Magnussen, Knight, Latifi and George Russell ends our grid lineup. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
So it was a big change immediately from Australia, where we actually managed to tyres much better than the team expected. So we actually went to a similar strategy as everyone, doing the one stopper and, just trying to manage these tyres. We didn't have the best race pace from practice, but we thought we could, maybe beat some Alphas and Haas's, beat the Williams and be up there around like top 15 in the end. So, they looked like our target, especially for Norby, who had much more race practice and it much better than I did in practice. And we did have a much better race start. It was a bit too much wheel spin still, but at least I wasn't aiming for the wall at the start, and so that led to a bit of a dive in the first corner. Got a bit close for Grosjean. I didn't actually realise Nobel was on the other side squeezing the Haas, so we're lucky to survive that, and we held off Russell and Magnussen as well, so it was a decent first lap, and then started to make moves as well, get past Latifi. We had enough of being stuck behind him, so it's good to get past the Williams.
Focus on the move, Jeff. Keep quiet. Enough of seeing the TP's butt. Coming for you, Nubu.
Was a bit disappointed on the next lap though, where Jeff came over the radio, so he lost a bit of power.
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the ICE. Be aware that we will start to see a loss of power.
Why you take my power away from me, Jeff? Just because I said I wanted the last taco. And we had that night the other night, you can't take the power away from me, Jeff, alright? Give the power back to me.
Engine is looking a little worn. Power output will be less than optimal.
That's not what I meant, Jeff.
In general, Honda, power unit's been fantastic for us, but yeah, maybe the first lines that maybe push the power unit a bit hard, just my inexperience maybe coming through there. However, after a few laps, once again got into a good rhythm, I caught up to Grosjean and he was battling with Nobu as well, and I did try.
Well, I'm going for it, Jeff. Okay, I didn't expect that from Nobu. Tell him I'm the team manager and to give way.
To think of the team first, of course, trying to get the faster car by. And in the end, that's led to a messy situation on that bay at the first corner. We almost did what we did at the start.
You got the message? Jeff? I don't think he's hearing me, Jeff.
Before Grosjean, but yeah, it just slowed us down in general. And then we had like the two stoppers, getting past us, like Verstappen and Sainz and Ricciardo, and yeah, we just never quite got on an even footing again with the likes of Grosjean for the rest of the race. So yeah, it was a bit of a disappointing phase in the race. Definitely had to speak to the team about that afterwards, where we got to think of the longer term strategy in the race rather than that short term kind of goal of trying to get past the Haas, really. By the time I pitted on that trail, I lost a bit of front wing as well, battling with the two stoppers, so I had to come in slightly early. It was a lap or two early, but I was still in the window. And, the slow pit stop as well led to lost time, to the likes of Grosjean, and we actually ended up behind Russell, which didn't expect to see the Williams again that race, so that was a bit of a shock. But, the team did the best job they could in the pit stops, just got to cut down the mistakes. We should have ended up really miles ahead with Russell. We should have been battling, like Grosjean at the end, battling for that top 15.
We're trailing our teammate by 29.8 seconds.
Stop lying to me, Jeff. Oi, who's that?
The car behind you has just fitted the hard tyres. Car behind, running hards.
Don't know, they seem like the thick tyres for me, Jeff.
And that's what Nobunaga was doing, but I was a bit disappointed to see him retire. Hydraulics issues for him. The car just packed up heading into the first corner. And then on the next lap, I had tyre sensor issues, so I have no idea where that came from. The team was baffled as well, so...
Last time I had a bad sensor reading on a tyre, it blew at 150 miles per hour. The frickin' TT. What sensors did you fit them with? Did they come from Quick Fit or something?
Keep managing your tyres. Manage your tyres.
What, the tyres that don't exist? You try and manage them, Jeff.
But in the end, we caught up with Russell. We had stronger pace than the Williams, as expected, and, I had a good little battle with him. He's one of the top young guns around, so he's probably a good marker for me. And yeah, to be able to get past him, pretty satisfying. And that meant we could cruise at the end, where we saw Grosjean retire as well towards the end. And after that, we were just managing the car with the power unit, with the hydraulics as well, with the possible tyre sensor issue. There was lots to just control and just make sure the car made it to the finish. So very happy to make it to the end. bit disappointed not to get into that position that the team wanted, but... And he's still not happy? Come on, Jeff. I didn't mean to take the last row, okay? I'm sorry about that, right? Well, I just thought, no one wanted it. We've been there for like 5 minutes. It didn't seem like anybody was, going after it, so I just went for it. My racer's instinct, I didn't know it meant this much to you, Jeff, okay? Sorry. At least we made it to the end for them, and just disappointed for Nobby as well, having the retirement. At least it's happening early in the season though, like we can iron out these issues, and hopefully, the reliability will come and the pace will come as well. But yeah, overall, pretty happy with the weekend. Making it Q2 the first time, even though it wasn't me, the team made it, and it'll be me next time. So yeah, Nobby, watch out. In Vietnam, I'll definitely do my hardest to beat you there, and especially as it's a new circuit for everyone, like be on a bit more of a level playing field there compared to Australia and Bahrain. I'd like to thank everyone for a superb weekend. We've pushed this car forward, like second weekend already into qualifying 2. We're racing with established midfield teams, so even though you might have mooted me, Jeff, I'm happy with all of you and proud of how well we've done in our second weekend. Time to push on next time out.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you?
Yeah, I can only praise the power unit. Like, that really did help us in the battles, and really made us push forward as well. Like, that's been probably our biggest asset so far.
It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it?
Yeah, it's always tough when drivers never back off as well, so we're always trying to not leave enough room for your opponent, but try and make sure that you've got the advantage when you're making a move or in a corner, and yeah, it can lead to some tough racing, but some fantastic racing as well in that race, and definitely learning curve as well as I get used to 4-wheel battling compared to 2 wheels, and with Sato helping me as well, I'm sure we're get better at the old combat during the race as well. So yeah, it was good learning in that race.
Appreciate your time.
Overall, I think we can be pretty happy with the weekend. It was a bit expensive. We had quite a few spins again, an instance, but made it into Q2, just our second race. Did not expect that. We thought we might, take a few races till like the European season really kicked in, but do it already. Shows we've got a good base for our car. That power unit looking mighty handy from Honda as well. And even though the race didn't turn out well, with Marusita's issue, Kev's still got some work to do with the race pace and his starts especially, so he's not having to fight through the lower fields. It feels like, we're taking a step forward. So hopefully more updates in the next few races, and by the time it is Europe, who knows, maybe Q2 won't be a thing where we, break out the bubbly. It might be, normal occurrence for us, but very happy where we are at the moment, and we can only keep moving forward. That's what they say. It's all right. It feels like the camera's a bit close this week. Like, is it really necessary for it to be like right in my face? Like, feels like I've got no room to move. Like, I do have an office here, which it's a bit. I've got room in the office. You can move the camera back and stuff. All right. Oh, you want it at this angle all the time now? Are you sure the viewers were like that? Like, you're like really in my business here. What do I say? You're the professionals. Alright. Great. Great. Great.